I'm going to be honest, I hate most of my interactions with women have gone negatively. Tell me why this girl invited me over her house. I call an Uber. I head over to her place. Tell me why when I get out front of the apartment complex, she stopped answering the phone. So I'm standing outside her apartment for 30 minutes. She ain't answering no phone calls or text messages. So I call another Uber to take my ass back home. Tell me why I'm halfway back home in the Uber. She gonna call me and tell me come back. I tell the Uber to spin around and take me back to her house. This bitch answer the phone or the door again. Why don't you tell me to come over?
Women are simple and it's not that hard, guys. When I date this weekend, he goes, oh, I have a little something for you.
Love bombing, toxic, creepy. That's doing way too much. Makes me feel weird. That's love bombing. It's only gonna go away. He's just trying to get into your pants. See, you say it's really that simple, but all of those are things that guys hear when they do things like that for girls. Guys bring girls flowers on a date, and that's the list of things that girls will say. 1000%, there are good women out there that still appreciate being treated like a princess in that way. They appreciate a guy that takes the time to think through those things and take the extra step to get those things and bring them on a date. But those girls rarely make videos. You're one of the rare ones. Most of the girls who make videos that we all see online talk about how it's toxic for a guy to do those things and it makes him creepy. And that's love bombing. Guys have stopped doing those things because they're afraid of having a video made about them. I don't understand why women don't understand that. But kudos to you. You should marry that man because he seems to care about you and hopefully you're happy. You found a good one and you seem like a good one.
If you're a man and I'm sitting at a table with you, people on the outside don't know that we're friends. And I'm not reaching in my wallet, period, point blank, ever with a grown, able-bodied man at the table. So if he's a man and he's getting the experience of being seen out in public with me, sitting across from him, he's paying. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What if someone wants to be your friend, to be seen out in public with you, but still wants you to split the bill? No. Y'all can order DoorDash at the office. But no, we don't do that in public, man. We're enchantresses. We can't be seen paying for people's bills. Y'all have to think about how it looks. Like you're sitting there looking all cute and reaching in your purse. What if I'm sitting over there saying, "Ooh, look at Misha pulling out her wallet with a grown, able-bodied man"? It still don't matter if you're his friend or not. It matters if he's a grown, able-bodied man at the table. I don't care if he's straight. He's got to pay.
Dude in the comments said some things are not worth it. Somebody else said you paying for your own meal. So I said, I thought this sprinkle was canceled. God, dog. Dang.
If you don't have kids, don't have any. My daughter told my husband that we've been going to Erin's house. Who's Erin? Have no idea. Trying to find out how she even knows an Erin. Then today, I went to put her shoes on. I said, come on, we got to go run errands. And she goes, yay, I love Erin's house.
So I'm scrolling last night. I scrolled so far left that Bumble told me that's it. We've shown you everybody. There are no more options left for you.
I will never take you serious when it comes to relationships, because I will tell a girl, I don't like the way you dressing, I don't like you doing this, I don't like you going to parties, I don't like you doing that, and then you go cheat on her with it that do all that plus one. What's not clicking? You mean to tell me you don't want me to be a bop, you don't want me to go outside, you gotta control what I wear, just to find out you cheat on me with a bop anyway? But if I cheat back, I'm a hoe. You?
Dude in the comments said, y'all don't listen anyways. Trust, we won't either. Y'all all going regardless, then be crying and lying at the same time.
Being a man's type, men don't decide what their type is. It's a survival imprint. And when you're a man's type, you antagonize his most primitive instincts, which is get me some of that. And they turn into take mode. And they don't like themselves like that. They actually get angry at the woman who's their type because she's activating an insatiable need in him that throws him off balance, which then they'll mostly use the word secure, right? Then they're not productive, they don't feel secure, and they like Literally, a woman being a man's type brings the worst out in him, just as a man being our type brings the worst out of us. It creates acquisition.
So I was talking to a male friend of mine the other day, and he told me that women don't apologize and women can't be held accountable. And I began to really think deeply about this idea. And one of the things that came across my mind is, in the last 9 months or so of me being in my private practice, I have myself experienced many women, whether they came as a couple or they came by themselves, they very abruptly discontinued their therapy. And I started to reflect and really think, what was going on here? And I noticed that after I had to confront them about something, I had to bring to their attention something they were doing that wasn't contributing to the health of the relationship, they became very defensive and very, just very harsh, and they stopped coming. And even though the husband would continue to come, he made it very clear that, she won't apologize. She thinks you're wrong. She thinks you're taking my side. And I began to really reflect, like, oh my gosh, is it true that women don't apologize? Is it that women struggle with being held accountable? I'd love your thoughts on this.
Yeah, been my experience too. Me and my ex-wife, we went to, after our separation, we decided we would try couples counseling. And wouldn't you know it, we made it to 2 classes, 2 appointments before she quit and started saying, you guys just gang up on me and she just takes your side on everything. Or maybe you were actually wrong in the things you did and said. But again, that requires accountability. Still to this day, she has not given me an actual apology. She always gave me half apologies while also not admitting to doing anything wrong. But she would never sit in front of me and actually be sorry for anything she did. And I've fully accepted and come to realize that she truly, honestly believes she did nothing wrong. I think she's still in her head, convinces herself that she didn't cheat on me, that none of that was real. I don't know, man.
Okay, story time. So when me and my friends were 14 years old, we were little Instagram, Snapchat. We weren't actually, but we were Snapchatting and texting literally everybody from all over the place, different schools and everything. So one night, me and my 3 friends are having a sleepover at my house, and we're like, oh my gosh, we should go to this party that this guy's having, this 16-year-old guy is having. We should go. We should sneak out. And so we're like, great, okay, well, how are we gonna get there? And so we're asking everyone, hey, who can take us to this party? We really want to go. They're the guys there asking who can pick us up and all that stuff. So eventually, this 21-year-old, by the way, we are 14 years old. This 21-year-old pulls up with this 14-year-old guy that we know. He might have been 15. And picks me and my 3 girlfriends up. And we're like, you know what? Okay. So we go downstairs. We sneak out my basement door. We leave the basement door cracked open so that it doesn't shut and lock on us. And we get into this car with this 21-year-old that none of us have ever met. He drives us an hour away from my house in the middle of the night. It's probably 11:30. He drives us an hour away to this party with these guys, nearly kills us on the way there because it's a very windy road. And then he drops us off and we're like, great, yeah, let's party. We're hanging out, we're mingling. We're 14 years old. We're not, well, we don't think we were drinking, but we were just mingling, having a good time. Well, then we're like, okay, it's time to go. And we're like, who can take us home? And everyone's like, we're not taking you home. And we're like, what do you mean you're not taking us home? And so we're asking everyone that's at this party, can you please drive us? Can you please drive us? We didn't have licenses at the time. And so we're who can drive us? We'll pay you money, blah, blah, blah. And they're oh, you don't have to pay us, but if you flash us, we'll drive you home. And we're that's not going to happen. So who can accept money as a form of payment? And they're no, we want to see your, and so we all just went around. We were texting people we know. We're who can come pick us up? We were begging people. We're please drive us home. We want to go home. Eventually, we convinced this one guy, yeah, we'll give you $20 to drive us home. All the money that we had in our pockets at the time. And he drives us home. And I'm literally in the back of this pickup truck. It's a 1-seater. And then there's a miniature chair in the back. And then a crevice. There's no seats. I'm laying in the back just next to my friend in the seat next to me. And so then we get home and my friend hands him a $10 bill and we're we thought we said 20. And he's what the? And so then we get home later, like that week, we go to school and everyone's like, we heard you guys flashed your ticket to drive home from this party. And we're like, us? And not specifically us. They said specifically my friend. I'm not gonna say her name, but they're like, no, she flashed everybody to get them to get you guys a ride home. And my friend was pissed. She still talks about it to this day. But then when we got home, it was broad daylight and we had to like book it back inside because it was the summer. My parents were fully awake at this point. And so we make them take us to the back of my road, and then we jump out of the car, book it across my backyard in hopes that no one sees us. And then guess what? My mom never found out. So a win is a win.
Somebody in the comments said my mom literally did not care and would be the one to drive me and my friends. She was not a good mom. That's what we as men know. That's what we know.
Here we go. When women don't like what you say about them, like if not even them directly, but if you reference something that relates to them and they don't like it, they instantly call you, which I think is the craziest thing ever. But here's the thing. The video that this woman commented this on, I was saying how happy I was for Nala and that she's found happiness and she's found God and has a husband and she's happy with her life, saying that I'm just so happy for her. That's what the point of the video was. It was me saying I'm cheering her on in the back, like, you go. And I got called because I made a video about a woman. I just, like, what be going on through your head? I didn't say anything mean in this video. I don't think I really say anything mean about women in general. I'll just call them out on something that I disagree with, but I don't say anything mean to women. This is kind of nuts, guys. God bless.
Why does no one talk about family court trauma? I had a session with a man recently, and it really tugged at my heart. And I said, I really have to share this with the world. So, men, y'all got to be aware of a woman that you have kids with who tries to start a physical altercation with you. That woman is going to need a plan to keep you out of your children's lives while still keeping the finances flowing from you to her. So she is going to need to start a physical altercation with you. She's going to hit you. She's going to scratch you so you can have a reaction and damage something in your space so she can call the police and show them that you are abusive. You can't control yourself, because she's going to need a DC number to take to court to file for a restraining order. This is going to secure primary custody for her when she takes you to court to sue you for child support. With that restraining order, you will never get back the time you lost with your kids, and you'll never be able to take those allegations back. You will no longer be able to fight for 50-50 legal and physical custody. Now, I have sons, and the one thing I'm proud of is that my sons have a super weapon, and that is their father. Because even when my husband is upset, he's thinking through his actions. And one thing I have learned over time through countless sessions and sit downs with people is that women get upset and they throw things, they hit things, they destroy things emotionally and physically. Women have zero control over their emotions. Now imagine a boy being raised by someone with those attributes. That boy will become a man who will easily fall right into the hands of the law system through a conniving woman. And men, y'all already know this, because y'all don't have to be in love with a woman anymore, but will still. And then she'll come back and fill your life up. But she already showed you who she is. She already showed you she'll take everything you worked hard for, destroy your career, and then take every opportunity to destroy your character and play the victim. Then after she has started taking everything from you, she'll call you lazy and a bum. And just one more thing, just imagine this. Imagine young men investing $500 a month into their college education and not into child support. What would our community look like? Because women know what man will be the workhorse, and that's how they'll choose which baby daddy they're going to put on child support. As my husband says, the slave trade. And it has nothing to do with race either. Women will weigh you and put you up on that family court block, look at your teeth, look at how big your arms are, how strong your legs are, and they'll say, yeah, this is a good one right here. He's going to work for a long while. And then she'll tell you while she's taking all your money, ha ha, now go survive off of overtime. Y'all got to watch these women out here, younger men too, because they can be looking at you because she's into you, she values you, or because she's sizing you up to see what your value will be, because she can't wait to get her greasy little hands on your money. Because that family court slave trade is real. Because a woman will put a man who loves his kids and wants his kids on child support. But the one that doesn't have a job, the one that doesn't want his kids, she'll leave his alone. Now that is reality.
A dude in the comments said, setting that vasectomy appointment in the spring, don't have kids and don't intend to have any. Another dude said, I had my ex-wife arrested for doing that to me. I moved out that day.
I don't know what's up with these batches of new, but I don't know if y'all remember back in the day. Yeah, used to buy us separate phones and tell us to pick up when they called. Back in the day, used to look at our nails and side item and be like, baby, here, go handle that. Back in the day, used to tell you to go get your shit done and pull up and pay. These days, we're concerned about the fact that you didn't pay for that haircut. When in reality, the only reason why I didn't pay for your haircut is because every time your barber do your shit, he push your hairline back. I ever get pissed off. I'm not paying for that.
Okay, if you're single and in your 20s or 30s, I have a genuine question for you. How do you differentiate between having very high standards for yourself and others and having unrealistic expectations? Because the longer I go being single and the older I get, the higher the bar gets for someone that I'm willing to be with or even entertain, because I'm just that much more comfortable with myself that someone's really going to have to be awesome for me to want to even put in the time and energy and effort to even begin to get to know someone. But obviously, eventually I'd like to end up in a relationship and yada, yada, yada. And I feel like I'm torn between this idea of having high standards for other people and also holding myself to that same high standard if roles were reversed, and having unrealistic expectations, as in like expecting too much for where I'm at in my life for myself and another individual. I feel like that's a very fine line there between those two things that's hard to differentiate.
Y'all are out here settling for guys who pay half whenever, look at this. Like what? They set the standard. He literally set the standard because, excuse me, I'm in awe.
A dude in the comments said, when you find a girl that pays for everything, you ask her to be your girlfriend because that girl is a keeper.
Now, I know I can't speak for every woman out there when I say this, but I know that there is a good handful out there that will agree with what I'm about to say. Being single in your mid-30s is hard. It's really hard. It's like digging through swamp water trying to find a pearl. Most of us have kids, careers, standards, morals, like we have routines. And if I agree to go on a date with you, that means that you have checked all the boxes and intrigued me enough to give you my time, which is a big deal. And let's be honest, we don't have that time to waste. And with that being said, let me also state that the chances of me sleeping with you on our first date is very high. And no, I don't care what you want to call me after making that statement because I'm a firm believer in test driving a car before you buy it. And if your reviews in Carfax has passed the test and met my fancy, the next step is to test drive. Because again, we don't have time to waste. So here's my tip to you fellas. If your first date with a girl is going so well and you know that you're going to get the dessert at the end of the night, don't be vanilla. That's not what we want. We want the special order, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you have to whip out all the best toppings in the first night, but you need to give us something that's going to make us want to come back for more. Because if all we get is one little scoop of vanilla from you, I promise you we're going to hit the Baskin Robbins on the way home. And the chances of you hearing from us again are very slim.
Trying to figure out how I feel about this. What do you guys think?
No, because the guy I've been talking to, I said, I think we should talk about, like, you know, our intentions here. He goes, yeah, no problem, but I'm gonna try to sleep forever. Good night. I haven't heard from him since. He meant literally forever. Alright. I'm just gonna go drown.
Day in the life of being a single woman. Things I wanted to do. I want to mount a TV, also mount something in my bathroom, but I don't have a drill, an electric drill. So I go to my contact list. I'm looking for people that seem handy, that is available to help me, or has a drill. Nobody had to rent one at Home Depot. And honestly, this story is a little silly because I could go and do that. Not really the point that someone told me I said I did not have a Valentine's date. I'm gonna be just fine, but I did not have one. They said, Caitlin, you're so pretty. I bet there's men that are just lined up to take you out. My thoughts today were, oh my God, if my prerequisite is someone that just has a freaking drill and I could not contact anyone, none of them had a drill, a little concerning. Don't want to go on a date with you. It's important to have a handy man that is readily available for you. And I think the first person that can get me an electric drill can, that's all. Bye.
Let's ask, why as a community do we have a bunch of black women in shelters with their kids? What does that tell you about the men in our community if there's such an epidemic of black women in shelters with their black?
It says nothing about the man. That's what it says. It says nothing about the black man. The reason, in my opinion, why so many black women are homeless or in shelters with their kids is because we prioritize the wrong things. These are the same women who don't need a man. Same women out here who are going to the IVF clinic to get a baby put in them without a man. These are the same women who brag and brag and brag about how they don't want a man. They can do it by themselves. So the women who choose to prioritize things, living in condos, driving cars that they can't afford, is why they're homeless with their kids. They're trying to live up to social media. They're trying to live up to things that they can't really obtain, living outside of our means. And instead of acknowledging that, we blame it on the man.
Oh my God, you guys are like collectively adorable.
Oh my God, thank you.
Collectively just chilling.
Oh my gosh.
I love this. Besties?
Besties.
Okay, who's the mom? Who's the mom of the group? I'm the mom of my group too, and I'm failing. I don't know where they're at right now. No idea. Okay, who's the bad one? The bad one? Okay, that's what's up.
I'm the bad influence.
Are you? Let's go. Okay, who's like the studious one, like the smart one? How did that? See, I looked right at you when I said it too. I was like, got that vibe. I'm a nerd myself.
She's the quiet one. Quiet, but she's feisty.
Crazy as so, huh? Wait, so how do you guys all know each other?
The reason why the concept of submission is so hard for a lot of people to wrap their heads around, it all comes down to this. A lot of y'all are used to treating the people that's the closest to you the worst. And that's why a lot of things just go over y'all head. I am really big on, I say this so much, your family, your husband, your wife, your children, that is your very first ministry. That's the very first thing that you are obligated and have a duty and an obligation to give those people the highest form of respect. So many people are out of alignment with that. So many people go out to the world smiling and grinning in everybody's face, doing all these favors for everybody else, and then come home and act a fool. They don't know how to treat their kids. They don't know how to treat their husbands. They don't know how to treat their wives. And it's very weird behavior. And I think that's another reason why submission and all that stuff is just, it's so triggering for so many people, because y'all used to going out in the world, kikiing, and then coming home acting weird. Acting weird.
Guys, I'm starting to feel like dating in this generation is horrible, and I'm losing hope, and I did not want to be one of these people, but I'm going to tell you guys what just happened to me recently. Okay, so this guy, he followed me, and then he didn't me right away. He followed me and he was just viewing my stories and stuff like that, and I had in the back of my head that maybe he liked me or whatever, but I was like, I'm gonna wait to see what happens. So eventually he actually me and he asked me out on a date, and we went to go on a date to get frozen yogurt. So when we first meet up, first of all, I'm a very shy person, and I could tell that he was kind of shy too. So it was kind of funny because it was we both were just being really shy and kind of stumbling and looking away from each other. It was just really funny. So the frozen yogurt place was about to close, so we hurried up and got some frozen yogurt, and we were asking each other questions as we were getting it. And then we went in his car, and we were in his car. My purse just fell. Okay, so we're in his car and we're just asking deep questions, stuff about what we want for the future, our careers, what we don't like, what we do like in people, and just talking about experiences. And I felt like the conversations were going very well, and both of our answers were correlating, it just went really well.
So originally he asked me out on a beach date. So before that, he was saying that we should go on a frozen yogurt place so we can get like comfortable with each other to see if we would like to go on the beach trip together. So when we were talking about everything, got each other's answers and everything like that, he was saying that he liked me and he would like to get to know me more. And then, you know, when I got home later that night, he was saying that he enjoyed meeting me. And like I said, that he liked me and he can't wait to know more about me. So the next day he calls my phone and then we're just talking about like prep for the beach and everything like that. And then eventually, you know, we go on the beach trip and it was actually really fun. So it was like a 2-hour drive before we got to the beach. So during the whole car ride, we were just talking, exchanging like music so we can get kind of the gist of each other's taste in music and everything like that.
Somebody in the comments says, don't chase, it makes you look desperate. I will ask 2 times in case it was a legit reason she said no the first time. She says no the second time, I'm done asking. Somebody else in the comments said she seems a bit much. Y'all got to get with the program, women. Y'all got to get with the program. Y'all not going to keep on acting irresponsible, acting weird like this, trying to dictate whatever you got going on and think a man's going to continue following you around.